good afternoon. This is DJ Straight coming to you live. Hey, this is DJ Straight. I apologize. For some reason, the computer is just working on its own today. Now, maybe it's too hot. I got a fan blowing on the screen and everything, so I just don't know what is going on. But anyway, hey, we are live, and what you see, sorry, Flip Wilson, is what you get, but it is great to be moving around. And again, you are way listening to us at Praise from the Closet Studio, Gospel Music Lovers Buffet. You can always listen live if you go on our website, WGMLB.com. And if you don't get a chance to watch it now, don't forget, go to our YouTube channel, DJ Straight, and hit subscribe, because we have quite a few things, quite a few shows, not things, that have been planned out. But today is a very special show. We're hearing so many things in the news on a daily basis. So many things from our past, from the past, is being exposed, being revealed, being told. And if you never paid attention to the news before or what's going on, now is the time. Whether you're an early morning person or a late night person, we as a human race, as human beings on 2 feet, we need to be paying attention to what's going on, because every day the news has some type of story that we just have to shake our heads and say, I can't believe it. But it does happen and it exists. And so, listen, I have a very, very special guest who has been very instrumental in my broadcasting these last couple of years, in my broadcasting career or life. And so I felt it robbery if I stayed on to talk. So I am going to make way for Nia 2X, who is the founder, the producer, the engineer, and the operating for VLB Productions. If you want to ever hear some great conversations, go on to Black on Black Radio on your internet, and you will hear all types of very informative conversations for probably at least the last, I want to say, maybe 10, 12 years or more. But anyway, she's going to do a great discussion on Emmitt Till. We are familiar with Emmitt Till, but she has some great information and news to share if you are not abreast of what's going on. And as always, while she is talking or having discussion, if you have any questions or comments, please go to our YouTube channel, DJ Straight, and type them in the comments section, and I will be able to share them with Nia 2X, and she will see them live. Again, I will stop talking. This is DJ Straight, and here, without further, as they say, ado, look that up, I'm going to bring on Nia 2X.
Peace, my sister. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to come on.
I'm telling you, thank you for opening the doors, opening your audience to the upcoming information. Thank you for having your platform and giving us good music as well as great conversation. The dedicated work you do is really our future. A lot of people don't know that Black people are on the rise, and people of goodwill, not just Black people, but mostly Black people don't know we're on the rise. And it's people like you that have the signal, if you will, or the sign to say, keep doing what you're doing, because we're on our way. Thank you so much. It just goes without me emphasizing as much as I would like to do. I'm extremely grateful. I'm grateful because of the discussion tonight. As you mentioned, It is an update, a very current update to what happened 67 years ago in Mississippi when a 14-year-old child visiting his family from Chicago, Emmitt Till, and he was visiting his family in Mississippi, which 67 years ago, that was 1955. And the laws of segregation and racism and white supremacy was a way of life in the deep South, like Mississippi at that time. There was no civil rights bill, there was no voting rights bill. Again, segregation, Jim Crow ruled. It was just the way it was. So this young child visiting the South from Chicago went into a store, as many people have heard. But today's update is part of the civil rights movement, because the case continues and it has just made an overwhelming discovery that puts the case back at the front of pursuing justice for that child, Emmitt Till, and today for his family. There are a lot of young people, maybe 30 and younger, 40 and younger. They may have heard, some of those 30 and 40, especially 40, have heard his name and maybe saw the brutal, uh, grotesque face of Emmitt Till lying in his coffin, where his late mother, Mamie Till, pursued relentlessly justice for her son. And Emmitt Till, as been described, is the George Floyd. That case then is the George Floyd of what we have today. It set off an explosion when his mother allowed that coffin to be opened. Looking at that picture today of his face is extremely difficult. It's nothing that you process and digest of the horror of how that child died. And what makes the case back on the attention of not only Mississippi, but the country, is what was discovered just last month, June 22, by investigators that have been pursuing justice for Emmitt Till for 67 years, mostly his family. His family didn't ever give up fighting for justice for Emmitt Till, and again, especially his late mother. With her last breath, she was fighting. There have been so many ups and so many downs and so many curves in the Emmitt Till case. But today, again, July 2022, there is a huge break in the case that brought me to WGMLB radio studios, because we need the people, we need the audience, we need the nation, regardless of your color, your gender, your political affiliation, your religion. That doesn't matter, unless you are not a child of God. There are some that just don't claim God, but for the masses that do, and we love God's justice, God has given another huge break, if you will, in the case for the family, which again, last month, June 2022, in the basement of a Mississippi courthouse, investigators from the Till family, from the Emmitt Till Legacy Foundation, other activists, people of goodwill, went into that Mississippi courthouse, and they were searching for a warrant arrest. There was a warrant that has been talked about, and they were searching for that warrant because the warrant is for the lady that really started the whole case, and her name is Carolyn Bryant Dunham, or Dunham. Carolyn Bryant Dunham. She was the lady who alleged that Emmitt Till whistled at her in the grocery store that he entered with two other family members. I think one was a family member and the other one was a friend. It's like they went to buy candy. And Carolyn Bryant Dunham, her husband owned that particular grocery store. There, Emmitt Till whistled at Carolyn Bryant Dunham. He did whistle. And from that whistle, it led to a kidnapping, one of the worst beatings, one of the horrors of humanity, of how Emmitt Till was viciously beaten, viciously tortured. He was literally tortured, and his body was thrown over in a river. So what has happened with the warrant that was discovered last month in that Mississippi courthouse was a warrant for the arrest of Carolyn Bryant Dunham. Again, this warrant is 67 years old. And the warrant wasn't ever issued to her. There was a warrant for her arrest involved in the kidnapping, or her role in the kidnapping. And there's so much more to the case that has led to serious alleged lies from Miss Dunham, who was around 81 years old today. Her last known address is North Carolina. And there are citizens as well as attorneys and activists that are pursuing her for a citizen's arrest. And that's where we come in. No, not to arrest her. And when I say we, the masses. I'm representing VLB Productions. VLB Productions is an advertising public relations company. We're in the media. And we also are on the train, if you will, to advocate justice for Emmitt Till and his family. With that arrest warrant being served to Carolyn Bryant Dunham, it will allow her to come to court, to have a fair trial, to be heard under oath what took place, what happened. And from what I'm understanding, as of today, she's on the run. She's not trying to be served with that warrant. There were those that have pursued her home. Her last known address is on the internet. And there were about 200 people, I believe, that literally went to her home. They went peacefully. They went non-violently. They exercised their constitutional right to be able to serve the warrant to her. Some may say, well, why don't the city officials serve the warrant? And that's what we are saying as well. We have a attorney general. There is a district attorney and as well a sheriff. And we are saying to them, serve the warrant that should have been served 67 years ago so that Miss Dunham can come to court, have her day in court, and be heard under oath what took place with that horrible incident with the brutal murder of Emmitt Till. We are advocating a national call to the Attorney General, to the district attorney, as well as the sheriff to do their jobs. It is not really our jobs to pursue an arrest warrant, but we have the right to do it. It's a constitutional right protected by the Constitution. We're not going in the same manner that the group went January 6th. We're not going, and they did not go to her home. And when I say they, I'm talking about attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz and attorney John Barnett, and then the others that accompanied them to issue the warrant. They didn't come with viciousness. They came non-violent, and they were firm. They were backed by the law. Again, we're dealing with attorneys. And they came in the pursuit of justice for Emmitt Till and his family. So with the national call in, we are asking you and us, people that love God's justice, people that understand what took place in 1955 to that child who was asleep in the bed, and around 3 a.m., Carolyn Bryant's husband and a half brother broke into the home of where Emmitt Till was sleeping, dragged him out of bed, and they were going on what Carolyn Bryant Dunham had told them. Now, these two gentlemen that did kill and murder Emmitt Till were tried in a court of law. They were acquitted. They were tried by an all-male Caucasian jury, and again were acquitted. 2 years later, they gave an interview in Look magazine. That was a popular magazine back in the day. And in Look magazine, these two men admitted, after the trial of them being acquitted, they admitted that they murdered and viciously assaulted that young man. So the statute of limitations ran out and you couldn't arrest them again for double jeopardy. But we, the public, since that arrest warrant was found and was not issued 67 years ago, we want the arrest warrant issued. And we are asking and calling for a national call-in, asking you to call one time. Just one call. Now, there are 3 telephone numbers. You may not can see the flyer, but I'm going to make sure that you get the telephone numbers. And there are 3 numbers on there: the Attorney General, the District Attorney, and the Sheriff. But if you choose to call one time, that will be acceptable. Many people really have not acknowledged that the civil rights movement is continuing. This is a civil rights struggle. Your participation of calling is legal. It is not against the law, and it's effective if we can get the masses of people, of God's children that love justice and want to see justice in the case, bringing her to court. Carolyn Bryant Dunham will begin to open up questions because there's so much evidence of the alleged lying that she is being accused of from many people who have followed the case, and especially the Emmitt Till family. Now, we're going to give you information because if you don't know about the case, there's plenty of information out there on the internet that will lead you from then until today. What happens if we don't make the calls? Justice will not be served. Justice for Emmitt Till is justice for my family. I didn't know him. I didn't know George Floyd. I didn't know the young man that was shot 40 to 60 times a couple of weeks ago in Akron, Ohio. I didn't know Trayvon Martin, Jordan Davis. I didn't know Sandra Bland. I say those names because we can take the right approach, just the spiritual courage to exercise your civil rights by making the call. So some people say, call and do what? Great question. First off, one of the main reason for our call is to inquire, and some of us, like myself, demand that those officials who were voted in their positions to serve the people do their jobs. You know, you may have a question. You can call in and ask a question. Hello, may I speak to, for an example, the sheriff? I'll give you their names as well. And this is the sheriff. I'm calling. Can you give me some information or update me about the case? You want to be polite, but you want to be firm. You want to make sure that we are calling and calling from all over the country. That puts pressure. It's a righteous pressure on those city officials who got their feet up on the table because there's no pressure from the masses of the people. Most people are talking, your grandmothers, your grandparents, and your great-grandparents can tell a lot about the Emmitt Till case. It's very difficult to look at that picture of how they just tortured that child at 14 years old who really didn't commit a crime. It's not a crime to whistle, but during segregation, during that time, 1955, it was associated. It was on the level of a crime. But remember, the two men accused went to court. They were arrested, went to court, and were acquitted for what they did. They lied and said that they were not guilty. The court found no evidence of what they did, and they walked. But remember, they admitted 2 years later, yeah, they did it. And they knew that the statute of limitations would be protecting them from double jeopardy. And they died free men. Let's call on God's justice. We should tell our children. We should tell our churches. We're going from city to city, state to state, asking anyone, everyone, especially our brothers and sisters across the country, to make that one call. And if you did all three, that would be better. But the one call, there's a lot you can, there's a lot of places you can go to get information to answer your own inquiries. Don't be afraid to call. This is part of the civil rights movement. We're not asking you to come out in March. We're not asking you to send a financial donation. We're not asking you to write a letter, but we are asking you to call. Pick up your cell phone, your landline phone, and call the numbers. And if you get a busy signal, that's a good sign. That means we're calling. And that would mean our effect of putting pressure where pressure is needed to get justice for Emmitt Till and his family. This young man still has no justice, but we have the opportunity to pursue and hopefully this time get the justice that he deserves and his family. Emmitt Till's family has been pursuing since his death. His mother, Mamie, is very, 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 very famous for that was the rest of her life, pursuing justice for her son. But she died not seeing that justice. But we have an opportunity. My one phone call, 10 phone calls is not the type of pressure. This is a national call in. And once you do your research, starting with your own prayer, and from your prayer, get up and get involved in the civil rights movement, your one call makes a huge difference. It's like a one vote, a one call makes a huge difference. But a zero call, that has an effect as well. Again, it's your constitutional right. It's our civic duty to get involved. We're not going to win all the cases, but we can continue to win a whole lot more if the masses of the people are clear in their understanding of any case. And in this case, it's justice for Emmitt Till. Please call. Again, we have 3 telephone numbers, and we have 3 different positions that we're asking people to call. First off, the Attorney General. Her name is Lynn Fitch, Fitch. She is the Attorney General. Please give her a call at 601 359 3680. That number again for Attorney General Lynn Fitch, 601 359 3680. Excuse me, please. And then we have the Sheriff, James Haywood. We're calling them with respect. We're not calling them and showing disrespect. We're exercising our constitutional rights. So he's the sheriff, and you want to call him, please, at 662-887-2121. James Haywood, 662-887-2121. The final call is to District Attorney. That's the DA, Dwayne Richardson. His number to call is 662-378-2105. You can call all 3 numbers. You can call one number. That will be satisfactory. That will be you in your participation in our civil rights. This is a movement. It is weak if a few of us call, but it is strong. It is righteous. We should hopefully want to get justice for what happened to that child and also for his family. Now, you can also get information, tons of information about the case because updates are coming almost daily. All you have to do is hashtag justice for Emmitt Till. Hashtag justice for Emmitt Till. And that's where younger people in their 20s and 30s, yeah, I thought I heard something about it. No, get involved. Find out. Look at that picture, if you will, of what people were acquitted for and what Carolyn Bryant Dunham is still walking free. You may not have heard this, and you may have. She has a memoir that was coming out. She was getting ready to make money off of this horrible situation. She was out to make money, to sell and get money from her memoir. That's why I say if you go to Justice for Emmitt Till, there's so much information. Listen to this. The latest comes from unpublished memoir. It's unpublished by the white woman Carolyn Bryant Dunham. I'm reading, whose accusations of improper advances in the store where she worked in Money, Mississippi, triggered the 1955 kidnapping and killing of Emmitt Till, a 14-year-old from Chicago who was visiting relatives in Mississippi. I'm skipping some of the information. I'm at another paragraph. Two white men, Donham's husband, Roy Bryant, and his half-brother, J.W. Milham, M-I-L-A-M, were charged and later acquitted by an all-white jury after less than an hour of deliberations. Didn't take them no time to let them go. Remember, you're talking about the Deep South, and you're talking about a state where our sister Fannie Lou Hamer came out of Mississippi, and the untimely killing of Medgar Evers, shot in the back in Mississippi. But anyway, listen to this. I'm reading. 2 years later, they would essentially, I'm talking about Bryant and his half-brother, Mr. Milham. 2 years later, they would essentially confess in a Look magazine interview, but again, double jeopardy would not allow them to be tried again. It goes on a little more. We're dealing with facts now. In this case, we need your calls. We need your calls. We need your calls. And you can call one time. Now, I'm reading from what is titled the Las Vegas Review Journal. You can read the entire story. I'm just reading a couple of paragraphs here because it's very, very important. The Justice Department, the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department, and many, many, many others continue to try this case, and they keep saying, no, we don't have anything, you don't have anything, you don't have anything. But what happened last month, we have something. We have an arrest warrant that should be sent to or given to Miss Dunham, and because they're seeing too many inconsistencies, they have a copy of that memoir, the unpublished memoir, and it's different from what Miss Dunham has said in the trial. See, we're dealing with lies, which produces alleged perjury in a case that has that child viciously beaten like that. So I would strongly suggest, please call and please go to Justice for Emmitt Till. Now, Emmitt is spelled Emment, and of course, Till is Till. So we want to get there, and we want to just get the calls. 24 hours around the clock. You can call to inquire. I was asked to call this number. Is there an arrest warrant for Miss Carolyn Bryant Dunham? Has she been arrested? Is she involved? You can ask them questions. The number one thing we want to do is call. How would you feel if you had 67 calls on your telephone in 1 hour? Or let's say a half an hour. And that's what we need to do. We need to be calling, not to be insulting, not to be disrespectful, not to be as the January 6 people. Those are not our role models at all. No, we're exercising our constitutional rights. Justice for Emmitt Till, for him, his family, for justice itself. Because what was done to that child was just so reprehensible, evil. And we that go to the mosque, we that attend church, because we're calling your churches. You can ask I would appreciate if you would ask your minister to give us a call. You can call us at 202-615-2139. 202-615-2139. You know, there's power in numbers, and it feels good to be in the number that's doing something correct. I am sure that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and even Malcolm X and many others would be here and doing the work that we are here today to do. It is your constitutional right, your civic duty. Once you understand and you're satisfied that you should make that call, then tap someone else on the shoulder. We can do this in unity. That's how it works. It works with a united effort. It works with a united struggle, doing the right thing and doing the same thing. Why isn't the sheriff serving the warrant? Maybe he is looking for her. Maybe he's not. Call. Maybe the DA is doing something. Maybe they're not. But Carolyn Bryant Dunham is walking around free from something that she did and wrote an unpublished memoir. She was on her way writing her own book and admitted in another book to an author by the name of Mr. Tyson. Now, it's alleged that she admitted to him 10 years ago that she lied. Oh, please get involved with this case. We know that lies, Satan is the author of lies. We want the truth, and we can get it if we apply the pressure. One phone call. Now, if you want to do 35 phone calls, feel free to do so. Make all the phone calls that you can and encourage children to get involved, to understand this is the non-violent approach in the civil rights movement to pursue justice for Emmitt Till and Emmitt Till's family. And if we do this, you don't have to worry about doing anything illegal. It's not illegal. It's spiritual encouragement. It is the movement. So if somebody comes to you, you ain't doing nothing in the movement. Oh, yes, I am. I'm telling you that one call is so effective. It's beneficial. It really is. And the people there, if you call and the line is busy, that's a good sign. If you call and the voicemail comes on, that's a good sign that our united effort, our unity is working, because we're calling and calling. Mississippi is calling. Tennessee is calling. Illinois is calling. New Jersey, California, Montana. Call. And we asked you to call one time. You feel free to call as much as you like. Be polite. You're encouraged to be respectful. You're encouraged to be firm and inquire. But the main reason is to demand an arrest warrant. Once you are satisfied that an arrest warrant for Carolyn Bryant Dunham should be served. See, I'm like this today because I did my little research. It should be served to Carolyn Bryant Dunham. By the way, she's on the run. She's in hiding. The activists went to her home, as mentioned earlier, and they visited a resting home where she was alleged to have been. Now, a lot of people saying, well, she's 81. Listen, did you hear on the news that a man that was involved in the Holocaust for the murders of untold numbers, he was 101. You know, he just got arrested? 101. So 81, 181, you're still living. And if it's alleged that you did something, go to court and have a trial so that you're under oath and we can get to the root of God's language, which is the truth. Please help us. Please call and do your civic duty in the civil rights movement as we continue to pursue justice one case at a time, and in some cases, more than one case at a time. We have to stand up. No justice, no peace. I thank WGMLB again, our sister DJ Straight. I thank you for listening. I thank you for your interest. And I pray that we unite, men and women of goodwill. Nationality is not important, but special emphasis are for our people because of what we are witnessing, not only from the police, but even ourselves. We're killing each other at an alarming rate. The madness must stop. Thank you for your time and attention. And please call that number. And remember, hashtag justice for Emmitt Till. Thank you, DJ Straight. I
You're
appreciate you.
welcome.
Come on and have the floor.
Near 2X, this was a great, I want to say, lesson, informational session, teaching, however the audience takes it, take all of that information is very valuable. And what sticks in my mind the most is closed mouths don't get fed. Even if you need somebody else to help feed you, they can come and open your mouth and put the spoon in there. You have three numbers, actually four numbers, because you have VLB Production at 202-615-2139. If you want more information, just hashtag justice for Emmitt Till. There is no reason why justice shouldn't be and can't be served if we do what we're supposed to do. And that's the purpose of WGMLB. Although we play music, we are very informative. And that's why I said sign on to our YouTube channel, subscribe, because we are in the midst of regrouping and working more shows to be informative so that everybody will know what's going on. And if you have something to share, by all means, don't forget, you can email me at gospelmusicloversbuffet@gmail.com. You can always call us or text us at 202-322-2470. And again, near 2X, thank you so much for coming on. And we
Thank
don't just have
you.
to hear it on the news. We've heard
Thank
it
you.
firsthand here. Justice for Emmitt Till. Go back on YouTube channel DJ Straight if you came on late and you missed this very good presentation, and listen to it and write down the numbers and put your phone on redial, speed dial, and keep calling. Okay, Nia 2X, thank you again for coming
Thank you.
on.
Thank you
And
for
you
having
all
me to
have,
come on. Thank you.
yes. And again, I apologize for some technical difficulties. It seems like the computers might be tired by now. But anyway, listen, always, always, always treat somebody else the way that you want to be treated. Look in the mirror and not just see yourself, but see others. This is DJ Straight signing off again from Praise from the Closet on WGMLB.com. You can always hear wonderful gospel music, classic. Uh, um, you can hear classic Christian, bluegrass, rap, bounce, you name it. The song that's playing now is "Everybody's Going Through Something." I bet you
Mm,
won't go any other station to hear that.
mhm.
Anyway, yep, it's a wonderful song. WGMLB.com and hit listen live. But anyway, this is DJ Straight signing off, and we will see you all on our next broadcast. Take care, everybody. Please stay dehydrated in this weather, and we are thankful to be above ground. All right, signing out. Take care. Have a great weekend.